Cheers, friends. Welcome to another episode of Beer and Vinyl. Just bought this one. Really like it. I'll give it a second. Love this album. Really more impressed with the vinyl. Love that they took all these songs and jammed it on two sides. Some people might disagree with me there, but that's how I like it. I don't want to have to get up every 3 songs changing. Allison changed, great. But I didn't like that about Dirt. Beer. I know I always do the Hidden Rivers, tons of Treehouse. Tired Hands, I haven't gotten as much, but I've done that, drank a lot of that. Want to go for something different. This was a gift to me. Foley Brothers Beer, Prospect, guy in work, Steve. Cheers, Steve. So, let's get into it. This is a 9%, and this album is a 9 out of 10, at least, right? I wound up, you've seen some of the albums I've played lately, so I just stacked them here just for the heck of it. Core. Dirt, I think I did recently. And Jam 10. I know there's some missing, but these are 3 of the absolute quintessential grunge early 90s albums that are just front to back phenomenal. So, with that said, unfortunately, I'm giving another one that's a single. Come on, give me bifolds. Charge me an extra $1. Like, how much extra is it? Nice album cover. Everybody remembers this from college. Still nice artwork. But a couple things always struck me about this album. One is that when I was in college, this was just, you put on the hits from the first side of this album, all the girls were out on the dance floor. These are very male-dominant kind of songs. I mean, if you listen to, I'll get into it when it comes up, but they're heavy, they're angry, they're not really singing about love. I don't know. So, let's take a look at Foley. Unfortunately, I didn't look this beer up beforehand. I think I've had this once before. I think I gave it a 4 1/4 on Untappd. I don't know, I'll have to double check, but let's see what it says. Unfiltered Imperial IPA, brewed with a special blend of malt, barley, and oats. Okay. This easy drinking IPA is packed with aromas of pineapple and lychee. There's that lychee again. This beer is brewed and packaged by, it's Vermont. Not Burlington. Is it Burlington? Oh God, I can't read it. Maybe you can. There, right there. My eyesight's going. Even these glasses don't help. But I don't want to step into higher lenses because that just deteriorates in the long run. Anyway, so what do you say we get into this? Using different glassware than I normally use. Yeah, sorry, I angled this up a little bit higher. It always seems like it's so low. I'm still working with this, so bear with me. I need to up my game that way. So, love this glass. It's got the Stella right there, the star, which I love because, look at this. I can hold this like this. hold it like that, all the time. Different grips. Have a very good strong grip on it, but none of my fingers, and the heat, more importantly, the heat from my fingers is not warming the beer. Look at that head on this beer though. Pretty solid head. This song. Very piney and resinous. But look at that head. Yeah, when this song came on, the girls flocked to the dance floor in college. I didn't understand why. You wouldn't want me to have to hurt you too. It's a very male, and it's got that angry feel to it. But whatever it is, it's a good song, but I see a difference. So anyway, let's get into this. I know sometimes I shouldn't drink it first and smell it and everything, but sometimes I just can't wait. I do smell a little bit of grapefruit, but it's more of the overpowering, resinous, piney, but on the East Coast side, like, it's still light and a little bit floral. It's not very bitter. The taste isn't either. It's a little bit more than like your typical New England IPAs. That's why I think there's a difference between New England and East Coast. New England is this is an East Coast. Kind of golden, more golden brown, but not as thick and turkey gravy as they say, or I don't know, but this one has more of a golden, bigger head. I forgot about that. Yeah, grapefruit pine. I guess lychee. That's like the joke. When you don't know what you're smelling, you just say lychee, which is a joke. I've not, but it's kind of in the beer community, but it's hard because it's such a hard thing to place, but then yet again it's so, not to say common, but it's an easy one. It's hard to narrow it down, but it's easy. It's hard to explain. There's a little bit of honeydew in there, but the aroma of this doesn't do justice for the taste. A lot of your New Englands have fantastic aromas and follow the fantastic taste. This one has a good, solid aroma, but the taste way outdoes the aroma. So, that's good. That's 9%. There is a touch. That time I got it. I really tried to explore that one. I got the alcohol at the end, very lightly, but not in a bad way either. I liked it. It's got a nice finish. It leaves you satisfied, but along the same lines, it has you wanting more 10 seconds later. Another great song. Heavy bass at like the DeLeo brothers are very underrated. This band is very underrated. Remember the video of this? Wicked Guard. So what is it? Dead and Bloated. I have to look at it, but see if I can know. This is 3. So Dead and Bloated is 1, Plush 2, Wicked Garden 3, 4, 5 is my favorite. The next 2 I'm going to go off. It's No Memory Sin, and I link them together. No Memory is the kind of instrumental, and it blends right into the heavy banging of Sin, but it flows so smooth. But then it goes further, and I think Creep is still on this side, And there's another song. It's like there's 7 songs on this side. That's vinyl bliss in my mind. But this is probably their second or third biggest hit off this album, which this album packed a punch. The second side, I don't even think I've made it to the second side. Now, I just bought this last Friday. No, wait. Yeah, last Friday afternoon. I had to run to the store. We're having people over for the game. My media player was buffering. Not a good thing if I'm having people over, so I wanted to pick up a newer one, and that's what I did. So I use Roku, I use YouTube TV, along with other things, but with the playoff games on, which I don't want to talk about, one of the reasons I did this video is to get my mind off of it, and I had to get myself in a good mood first. So I watched a little bit of that. YouTube TV, or I'm sorry, YouTube with Nate from Treehouse, breaking down his 5 favorite hops. His 5 were, I'm not sure if they were in order or not, but it was Citra. I agree, Citra 1. Simcoe was his 2. Simcoe's my top 5, but not 2. 3 was Galaxy. Galaxy's awesome hop. I agree with that. 4 was, I don't remember, and I know 5 was Cascade, which is like an old school. He likened it to Fenway Park, where kind of forgotten about, but it's just legendary for its long-term status and its characteristics that do that. I would say my top 5 hops are, drum roll, Citrus 1, boom, no doubt. 2, I'm not a big fan of it in Treehouse, like in the Green series, but I really like Galaxy and Double Galaxy from Hill Farmstead. That's probably my 2, closely followed by Mosaic is 3. 4, I was actually going to go Simcoe, but Simcoe's probably 5 for me. And I think 4 is Strata. Strata's a late comer, like up and coming. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a ton of other great hops, all for good reasons. He brought, Amarillo was his 4th, and he said it, or 3rd. And he said if he had to just live on one hop alone, it was Amarillo. And he likened its flavor to a spicy grapefruit. I'm gonna have to get some more Amarillo hopped beers and get into that, because it's a hop that I honestly don't know as well. So, cheers. Here's No Memory Sin. Starts off slow. Probably can't even, it's not even playing yet. But it's one of those thinking songs to me here. Sorry. It does pour an aggressive head, I'll say that. And I do love instrumentals like this. You name it. Pink Floyd has a couple I can rattle off. I just watched Deer Hunter the other day when he hops on right before they go away to Vietnam, and John hops on the bartender hops on the piano and plays. It's a very famous classical piece, and I forget the name of it right now, but he plays that, and just everybody just slows down and listens in, like, and you can just feel the gravity, the levity of the situation where they're going to go off to Vietnam, and then kicks into Sin. And I like that. Two here. Bang, bang. And the last one was 1. Like, change it up. Don't give me the same stuff every time. And then the heavy. Holy, like, yeah. Friend of, one of my wife's best friends is absolutely adores Scott Weiland. And you can see, he just has a stage presence, And even just listening to him, if you never met him and just listen to him on the album, he commands the room. We were lucky with the whole grunge era. You have Eddie Vedder, you have Scott Weiland, who's very underrated, and then you have Kurt Cobain, obviously one of the best screaming voices, but also too just you're able to feel his emotion when he plays like Penny Royalty and some other stuff. And they got Alice in Chains that have two great voices, which is why I love them. Lane Staley, unbelievable voice. There's just so much. I mean, Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, the lead singer from Queensryche, whose name escapes me right now, who I actually called the greatest singer of the early 90s. To me, he's better than Cornell by a little bit when it comes to peeling the paint off the wall. I can't believe I can't remember his name. It's been a long time since I mentioned him or thought about him. But just so much great music then. So, talk a little bit more about the beer. Yeah, it's got a nice, not earthy, excuse me. Ooh. Yeah, melon, honey, not as sweet as a honeydew. And this is where a lot of the brewers get into this like overripe drops of honeydew in springtime. Like, give me a break. Like, I honestly don't like that stuff, and I'm not going to be that guy. I remember the one I read, it was Tired Hands, and it was white grape gummy bears. And this is like 8-10 years ago. It was one of the first ones that really just irked me. I'm like, white grape gummy bears. Like, who the F sticks their nose in a beer and says, you know what? I smell white grape gummy bears. I'm like, come on. I get it. You want to be distinct on the characteristics of your beer, but there's a fine line where you go too far. Talk about the fruits and throw in lychee every time because everybody does. Resinous pine, honeydew, and I've lost the other smells of the citra, of the peach I thought I smelled earlier. Ooh, now that's waking it up. Oh. Actually detecting a little cedar, which I like. Cedar and like melon, kind of, that's what I'm getting now as it warms. Love this change here too. Very heavy start of a song, mellows out, goes really soft here, accentuates a little bit of just nuances. I don't even know if I'm going to get the creep because this video is at 18 minutes. So I love it. Like, give me a 23-minute vinyl. Now I get it. Thank anybody who's still with me right now. Thank you. Because I myself, I get to I want to watch videos that are between 5 and 17 minutes, depending what it is. But like, obviously the more topics you're covering, the longer it goes if it's a little bit more diverse. That's why I'm trying to talk about my favorite hops. I'm trying to talk about this, talk about other albums, things like that, just to make it, since there's so much going on in this one. Excuse me again. I'm talking about this jacket. Love this jacket. So I literally got this in Italy. We went, it would have been this coming Easter, which is 6 months away. I get it. So I'll back it up, then I'll say it is 16 and a half years old, correct. which was cool. Had a great time there and stuff. So 5, I forget what song 6 is. I think 7 is Creep, or else 6 is Creep, and 7's another good song. Something with the water or something. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to cheat either. But yeah, this Foley is pretty good. I needed a 9% after that debacle. Oh yeah, Creep is after this one. I forget the name of the song. But anyway, I'm a big, if you guys know me, big Philly 4 for 4. On top of Ohio State, freaking, once again, winning against Penn State, somehow, some way, this looked like the year we could take them. Nope. Philly's unbelievable home record, unbelievable home advantage, come home needing a 1 win out of 2 games. This is the reason that I needed to do this video, just to get me through that. And I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Feel free to throw comments in the comment section, but I'll get to them eventually, which I don't get many comments. Dustin, thank you. Who else is watching this? I mean, I talked to one of my buddies the other day, and he's like, oh yeah, I watch your videos. I'm like, you do? I had no idea. And you don't have to comment on it to tell me, just tell me. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, subscribe. I'm not gonna beg for any of that stuff. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to drink beer. I'm here to give reviews on vinyl and beer. You know, take it or leave it. Love every single person who has anything to say. But like, my motivation is just like, oh, I want to get 1 million views and like, or whatever. I would love it if every single, or like 80% of my friends that I've grown up and got to know and drank beers with at some point, or wanted to. There's people that I wanted to drink beers with and I never got a chance to, just because of they live far away or whatever, or they or I discovered IPAs later in life. Before, we were just drinking Miller Lights back then, but would love to do a treehouse with an old friend who moved away or something like that. But whatever. I don't remember the name of the song. I might have to cheat. But it's very busy. I like it. I would give this a perfect album side. And he's in the mic. I've seen this song in concert, yelling in the microphone. Now here you go. I love it. On the back, it goes over the band. Vocals. Just says Wayland. Not Scott Wayland, Wayland. Rob DeLeo on the bass. Dean DeLeo on the guitars, and Eric Kretz on the drums. I thought there was DeLeo on the drums. I was wrong there, but that's okay. So, Naked Sunday, name of the song. I would have never remembered that. Next song is Creep, which everybody knows. Second side, oh yeah, Piece of Pie, Plush. Oh, Sex Type Thing was song 2. Damn it. That's the male dominant song, but you still got Piece of Pie. Okay. Plush, great song. Wet My Bed, pretty good song too. I really like that. Cracker Man, a lot of people like. I do too. I don't like it as much as everybody else does, but it is a good song. And then Where the River Goes is a great song. Man. They just, the stuff that came out then. I'm sorry, this is running long. What else can I talk about? This is what I had tonight. Game was pissing me off so bad. It's a weeknight, so I went with Life Motif. Pale Ale from Hidden River, 5.4%. And Jeremy left me a juice bomb. Did a juice bomb. So I don't want to think about the game. The game makes me want to drink vodka and shotgun beer. It does. Sorry. I won't do it, but one of my favorite things about this song is shortly after the song came out, my mom used to watch Entertainment Tonight when I lived at home, back when I was young, like 18, 19. And the whole Lorena Bobbitt thing came about. And when Entertainment Tonight played that story, this is the song that they had playing in the background, which was ballsy, to say the least. I'm half the man I used to be. The original burn, like you don't get many burns on like national TV from like Entertainment Tonight and stuff like that. Especially, well, mostly back then. Well, cheers. Listen, let me know what you think. I feed off your comments, so please, if you're here till the end, like, subscribe, hit the notification button if you like, all that stuff. None of that's pressured. Do it if you want to. I'd appreciate it if you do it. But more importantly than that, I want to hear, like, what do you want? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? Is there a certain album? Actually, a friend of mine, thank you, Kevin, reached out to me. He's like, why haven't you done any Metallica? And I'm like, great question. I don't have any Metallica on vinyl. I went to the store the other day and I bought Core, because it was $20 at Walmart, and they had Master of Puppets. And it was $27. I made the financial decision just to buy one. Is Master of Puppets my favorite Metallica album? That's real tough. That's my favorite Metallica album. It's either Master, Ride, Justice. I mean, they all three of them bring so much. And Kill 'Em All, the Black Album, even Load. I think Load is very underrated. And some of my favorite songs are spread across them all. Anyway, so, but yeah, throw me some recommendations. And if you have a vinyl and you live near me and you want me to review it, or a beer that you want me to do and I can get my hands on, feel free to. It's been a long video. Apologize for that. Cheers, and fuck the Diamondbacks. I gotta end on that because they just 84 wins and you can't close them out at home in 2 games and blow 2 games on the road with your closer blowing 2 games. I'm gonna break stuff after I hang this up.